So hello and welcome to Med School Diaries.
Be strong.
So today we are going to discuss about the answer keys of quiz number 1 held on April 18th. So here your first question, shoulder region include all of the following region except. So the answer will be your arm. Okay, let us see the picture. Let us zoom it. So if you can see over here, the shoulder region includes your pectoral region, your scapular region. Here is your axilla, but the arm will be at downmost position, so it will be not included in the shoulder region. I would ask you to make the video at a faster speed. It will save your time. Now the second question, which describes the correct order of the distal row of carpal bones from lateral to medial. So again, let's see a picture. So here it is your dorsal aspect of your wrist joint. So radius situated on the lateral side and ulna on your medial side. So from lateral to medial, the bones are the trapezium, trapezoid, capitate and hamate. So that your answer will be option C. Okay, so now the next question. Okay, urine analysis found as per the image. So you can see this is simply the Rotheras test and the purple ring appears here. So Rotheras test get positive in ketone bodies. Found that your answer will be diabetic ketoacidosis. Next, the nucleotides. So let's see another picture. So here you can appreciate the one carbon of the sugar bonds with the nitrogen of purine ring. So here any purine or pyrimidine base can be possible. So your answer will be option A. Now go for the next question. What is not stated by Chargaff's rule? So if you can see over the options, the last option, the DNA is made up of purine and pyrimidine base. This is not stated by Chargaff's rule. Other all options are stated by Chargaff's rule. You can refer to Harper for this detailed explanation of Chargaff's rule. There are 4 rules set by the Chargaffs. Now come to the next question. Which amino acid possesses imidazole ring? So it is also an easy question. It is the histidine. Here is the structure of the histidine. You can see it is your imidazole ring. Now the next question, which amino acid destabilizes the alpha structure? So it is your proline. Proline is an amino group, not an amino acid, it is an amino acid. So that it destabilizes the alpha structure of protein. Alpha structure is the secondary structure of protein. Now the next question. Type of joint present between root of teeth and socket of jaw. It is a simple question. It is type of Gomphosis. Next is how much of the total body water is ECF volume? It is 1/3. This question is also informative question. So you can refer to Ganong for this. Which of the cytoplasmic organelle possesses double unit layer? It is mitochondria. It is the easiest question. It is taught in your 10th or 12th class. Now go for the next question. Okay. Which nerve lies over psoas major muscle? So this question is very important as this is asked in many times in your dissection table. So just focus on the diagram. So here it is your psoas major muscle. Okay, this is your psoas major muscle, and the nerve which lies over the psoas major, it is the genitofemoral nerve. So please remember this very carefully. It is your genitofemoral nerve, and this question is asked again and again. It is considered as a must-know question. Now come to the next question. Arrange the cell junction from above downwards order as present between two cells. Let's see a picture. Focus over it. So between two cells, the cell junctions are present. So if you can appreciate, they are from above downwards at the tight junction, then the adherens junction, then desmosome, then the gap junction. So let's see over the options. So here you have the gap junction, zonula occludens, zonula adherens and macula densa. Firstly, the tight junction is also known as zonula occludens. The adherens junction is known as zonula adherens. The desmosome is known as macula densa. Okay, and gap junction as gap junction. So if we arrange this as per order, first is the zonula occludens, the 2. Next is the zonula adherens is 3. Next is your macula densa is 4. And next is your gap junction, it is 1. And here you can see these are the hemidesmosome. Okay, so your option will be option A. Now for the next question, skeletal muscle has RMP of. It is an informative question. The answer is -90 millivolt, which is not vitamin K dependent clotting factor. So a cycle known as vitamin K cycle. There are some clotting factors like the clotting factors 2, 7, 9, 10. Please remember this. Clotting factor 2, 7, 9, 10 are the vitamin K dependent. They are carboxylated by the help of vitamin K. And here is a cycle known as vitamin K cycle. You will be read it in your biochemistry during vitamin K. Now for this question, hope you have turned the bell icon there. Okay, now about this question. All structure pass through the lesser sciatic foramen except. So the structure passing through the lysocytic foramen, this question is a very important question, and it's often asked as your viva examination or in your practical, or even asked in theory too. So if we concentrate about the structure which passes through the lysocytic foramen, these are from medial to lateral side, pudendal nerve, internal pudendal artery, and nerve to obturator internus. So it can be memorized by a mnemonics PIN, from medial to lateral, pudendal nerve, internal pudendal artery, and nerve to obturator internus. Okay, so here as asked all the structure except, so the answer will be nerve to quadratus femoris. Now the next question, which vein is most susceptible for varicosity in lower limb? Now the varicosity of vein is defined as the tortuous and enlargement of vein. So this may be caused due to venous hypertension, which may be caused due to valvular incompatibility. So in case of lower limb, firstly the affected veins are the superficial veins. So here the femoral vein is excluded in first option. Next, among those three veins, the most susceptible is your great saphenous vein, the option A. You can see how the veins are tortuous and enlarged. This is known as a varicocele or varicosity of the vein. Now for the next question. Okay, now this is a very important question, and this question is actually incomplete. I think this question was incomplete in your question paper, as the last information which is given here, the ECF concentration is 5 units and ICF concentration was 10 units. It was not written in your question, so you all have got a grace mark for this question. But let's solve this question. This is a very interesting question. So as you can read the question, it is a question which we can approach through our Fick's equation or the Fick's law of diffusion. So here is your Fick's equation. Now, as you all know, the rate of diffusion is equal to a diffusion coefficient, that is a D, area, surface area of the membrane, by the thickness and concentration difference C1 minus C2. You can see over the formula. Now, okay, so this is your formula. Now initially we will calculate the J1. Okay, so now what you have, dA by T into your C1. So I can assume the C1 is my ICF concentration, that is the intercellular fluid concentration, and ECF concentration is 5. So here 10 minus 5 is 5. Okay, and now we will calculate your J2, that is the final rate of diffusion. So here D cannot be changed, the area has changed, or by double, area is double, thickness is doubled, and intracellular concentration is double, that is C1 is now your from 10 to 20, but the ECF is same as 5 unit, so now it is your 15. Okay, it is your 15 dA by T. Now as asked here, the change of its rate of transport. So the change of rate of transport, that is we can say about delta J. Here you can say, but the J2 by J1. Okay, let's clear some portion. So here the J2 by J1, you can appreciate it is 15 by 5. So the answer will be 3 times. Okay, it will be 3 times, but here it is asked as increase or decrease. So if the J2 becomes 3 times or J1, it is increased by 2 times. So your answer will be option A, increased by 2 times. So if you are still up to this video, please write on the comment section as right. This is just a survey from our side so that we can check how many of you are still up to this question, as this question was given as incomplete. So this is just a little bit of survey. Now come to our next question, a histological diagram. So we can see that it is a slide of stomach. So the stomach, the lining epithelium is columnar epithelium. Okay, so basically all the portion of the GIT is lined by the columnar epithelium except the esophagus, which is lined by the stratified squamous epithelium, of course the non-keratinized type. Now which lumbrical muscle of the hand are unipinnate? So our hand has 4 lumbrical muscles. Among them, first and second, you can see over the picture, the first muscle and the second lumbricals are the unipinnate, and third and fourth are your bipinnate. So the option will be option A, answer will be option A, first and second. Now the next question, which protein carries hemoglobin from circulation to RE cells? So RE cell is the degradation site of hemoglobin. So if hemoglobin is leaked into the circulation from RBC, it is carried by haptoglobin up to the RE cell. So here is the end of our first session. Please check the second session on the I button. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here.